Hey everyone, welcome back to Redditly. Today's video is titled, My 31 Male, Wife 30 Female Had Intercourse with an Ex-BF. Please make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a future upload from us. Let's jump right into the story. The wound is still fresh as this happened this Memorial Day weekend, and I found out about it just 2 days ago. Be warned, this may be a bit on the long side. My friend, who I'm currently crashing on the couch of, directed me to this sub as a place to vent and get insight on my situation. My wife Mary and I have been together 6 years, married for 4 of them. We met at the tail end of our time in college. She had months prior gotten out of the relationship, whereas I had never been in an actual relationship at that point. I was a player, or a F-boy as they call them these days. I admit that in my later teens, well into my 20s before I met her, I played the field. When we started dating officially, she knew well of my body count because a couple of associates were among the numbers. She's only had 2 partners aside from me. The guy she dated in college for 2 years before she met me, and her high school boyfriend Nate, who happens to be the guy she cheated on me with. I'll spare you the life story of our marriage. We have no kids. We both are professionals and live in an apartment here in New York. There have been 0 hiccups in our relationship. Just the usual spats married couples have. There's been no lack of intimacy, affection, or communication. This is why I'm so absolutely blindsided by this. The last couple of weeks, Mary had been acting strange. She was being a lot more clingy and lovey-dovey with me than normal. She's always been an attentive woman, but it felt like she was going out of her way the last couple weeks. And it also seemed as if there was something eating her up inside. And when I asked her if something was wrong, she'd say it was nothing. I now know that this was anything but quote-unquote nothing. 2 days ago, Mary comes to me as I'm doing my evening workout and she says she has something to tell me. I ask what, and she drops a nuke on me. She had intercourse with Nate at her parents' Memorial Day shindig in her hometown. They have this event every year. And this year, I was unable to go because I had other obligations to tend to regarding my business. Turns out, Nate had returned to the East Coast after being over in Japan for decades. From what she told me about Nate, he was a military baby. And the reason they broke up is because his father ended up on a 4-year deployment to Okinawa. This was also told to me early in our relationship. Nate apparently stayed in Japan for years after and has recently returned to the US. Long story short, as she says, there was alcohol and lots of conversation of the old times. Old feelings flared up, and by evening's end, she ended up back at his place where they had intercourse. I'm usually a calm, level-headed guy, but I admit I lost my S. It took all I could muster not to throw her out of a window. I cursed her 50 ways to Sunday, and she stormed out of our apartment. I don't even bother packing anything, I just left. She tried to beg and plead for me not to go and made an attempt to block my way to the door, but I shoved her out of the way and slammed the door behind me. In hindsight, I know that's probably going to cost me, but it is what it is. Like I said, this went down 2 days ago, and I'm presently typing this from my friend's apartment. She knows I'm here as my friend had returned to the apartment to gather some of the things for me. I've completely cut contact with her as I'm in no mental state to hear anything she has to say. So Reddit, is my marriage over? I love her with every ounce of my soul. I'd go through hell and high water for her, but this, I can't shake this. To her credit, she at least admitted to cheating on her own accord. But to all of a sudden, have tingles for your first boyfriend and F him the first day you reunite with him? Is this karma for me being a womanizer when I was young? I'm just lost, confused, hurt, and angry right now. How do I cope with this? ETA. There's a lot of comments that have been made that I don't think I'll be able to respond to all, but I want to clear up a couple things of the major points. First off, regarding a post-nup, I made that comment not in the right frame of mind. In all likelihood, it won't be needed. While my state of New York is notoriously bad for men regarding divorce, if in fact I do decide that route, I know Mary will not take me to the cleaners. Despite what a lot of you may think of her given the circumstances, she is not a vindictive or spiteful woman. I know a lot of you are going to fight me on that, but she's not. The next thing I want to address is the idea that this was premeditated. Today, I went over the data records on my cell phone plan and I can confirm that the first time they communicated, May 27th, 2 days before the event. There is zero communication between the two before that point, and a few texts from Nate following, and that Mary never responded to. The last time he attempted to reach her was June 10th, so you can take the theory that they planned this months in advance or have been hooking up for months and throw it out the window. Lastly, I've taken the time over the last day to think to myself with insight from my friend on what I should do next. And the next immediate move I've decided to make on the matter is get time away from all this. I need to sort things out, so I'm taking a step back from interactions, including social media. I will post an update once I've sourced things out. To everyone who has given me good, solid advice, I thank you. For everyone who has projected their own misgivings and toxicity of their own circumstances upon my situation, maybe you need to disconnect from social media as well. And the first comment says, I don't know the state of your finances, but if you really fear losing any money, then I suggest to demand an immediate effect postnup made by a lawyer as a precondition to your reconciliation. After she signed, play the game a few weeks or a month to make it look like you are trying to reconcile, then divorce with a postnup in effect. I myself would just divorce anyway, and if you guys decide to reconcile, then you just live together and make sure to ensure she won't in the future come after you with some common law marriage BS if you break up. Also, if you do reconcile, you should enforce quite a bit of new boundaries on her, like never again going to that event, and any traveling alone means a breakup, even if it is for business. To her credit, she confessed, but that changes little if she's not willing to take permanent consequences to amend for her betrayal. And for the record, your body count means S. You haven't betrayed her. Never let her use your body count as an excuse to justify any of her behaviors. The second comment says, the fact is, she saw her ex again after many years and spread her legs on the same day. You will always have these pictures in your head. Stay with her means suffer for years and you will never forget it, never get over it. Why did she confess it? Because she felt bad? When she opened her legs and other holes for him, didn't she feel bad? I think she was afraid that it would have come out anyway because she was being seen with him. Move on, draw the consequences of her acting. Your healing process will be faster without this. Much faster. You're young enough to start over with someone else who really loves you. You go out, meet up with others, always be among people, distract yourself so you have fewer thoughts. Change your outfit, do what you always wanted to do, live your life. Do not decelerate into afflictions, depressions, or feeling guilt. She made the decision to do this, not you. I'm sorry for you and that you're here. Thank God that you have no children and that this did not happen after 10 or 20 years. No matter how you decide, I wish you all the best.